The lunch bell rang at 12 p.m. Jayden stood near the cafeteria line. He looked at the price board. He reached into his pocket, and his fingers touched only a few coins. His stomach felt tight, not only from hunger, but from shame. He walked to a friend and whispered, "Can you lend me $1?" His friend sighed and handed it over. Jayden forced a small smile. "I'll pay you back tomorrow." He said the word tomorrow like it was a habit, because it was. Jayden walked away with food, but inside he felt smaller. That day, Jayden made a quiet decision. He said to himself, "I can't live like this forever." Jayden was 16 years old. He lived in a small town in the United States. He lived with his mother and his younger brother. They lived in a small apartment near the highway. Money was tight most months. Bills arrived like clockwork, and the family always had to figure it out. Jayden's mother worked hard. She cleaned houses during the day, and sometimes worked extra hours at night. She tried to stay positive, but Jayden could see the tiredness in her eyes. Jayden wanted to help. He wanted to become reliable. He wanted to lift some weight off his mom's shoulders. But Jayden's problem was small and daily. It was not a big loan. It was not a huge debt. It was something worse. It was a habit. Jayden borrowed small amounts again and again. $1 for lunch, $2 for a bus ride, a few dollars for a school activity. And every time he told himself it was just for now. But just for now became a pattern, and the pattern became a cage. One afternoon, Jayden walked past a corner store near Main Street. A small bell hung above the door. The windows showed snacks and drinks. Inside, the light felt warm and calm. Jayden walked slowly in. He looked at the sandwich cooler. He looked at his pocket again. He was short again. He stood there, hoping the moment would pass. That feeling of being stuck. That feeling of needing and not having. Then he heard a voice, calm and gentle. "Hungry today?" Jayden turned. Behind the counter was Mrs. Rivera. She was in her late 50s. She had calm eyes and a serious kindness. Jayden nodded. He tried to laugh it off. "I'm fine." But his voice was not strong. Mrs. Rivera watched him for a second. Then Jayden whispered the truth. "I'm short, just $1. Mrs. Rivera did not shame him. She did not make a face. She reached into the register and pulled out a $1 bill. She placed it on the counter. And she said, "I can lend you $1. Jayden felt relief. He said quickly, "I'll pay you back tomorrow." Mrs. Rivera lifted her hand slowly. "No," she said, "not tomorrow." Jayden froze. He looked confused. He asked, "What do you mean?" Mrs. Rivera said, "I will lend you $1, but only if you agree to one rule." Jayden swallowed. "What rule?" he asked. Mrs. Rivera reached under the counter. She pulled out a small notebook and a simple pen. She placed them in front of him. She said, "Write your name." Jayden wrote his name. The pen felt heavy in his hand. Mrs. Rivera said, "From today, you will write down every dollar you spend, every single one, every day." Jayden blinked. He expected a lecture. He expected anger. He did not expect homework. He asked, "That's it?" Mrs. Rivera shook her head. "That's the beginning," she said, "because the real problem is not $1. The real problem is that you don't know where your money goes." Jayden looked down. He felt uncomfortable, because deep inside he knew she was right. Mrs. Rivera spoke slowly so Jayden could understand. Money leaves your life quietly, like water leaking from a small hole. You don't notice it at first, but one day you wake up and you have nothing. Jayden stayed silent. He thought about his pocket. He thought about his lunches. He thought about all the small spending. Mrs. Rivera tapped the notebook gently. "This is your mirror," she said. "Not for your face, for your habits." Then she said a line Jayden would remember. "Respect $1, and one day $1 will respect you." Jayden nodded. He took the $1 bill. He bought a sandwich, and he walked home. That night, Jayden opened the notebook again. He wrote what he spent. He wrote it clearly. He felt silly at first, but he wrote anyway. The next day, he wrote again. A snack, a drink, a small app purchase, a bus ride, a fast meal. After 1 week, Jayden looked at the page, and his stomach dropped. He was not only spending on needs, he was spending on comfort, on impulse, on "I deserve this," on "just this once." Jayden realized something painful. Life was hard, yes, but his habits were also hurting him. That weekend, Jayden returned to the store. He brought $1 to repay Mrs. Rivera. He placed it on the counter. Mrs. Rivera took the dollar, but she did not celebrate yet. She said, "Show me your notebook." Jayden handed it over. Mrs. Rivera read quietly. She nodded slowly. "This is honest," she said. "That's good." Then she said, "Now the next step." Jayden asked, "What next?" Mrs. Rivera said, "Pick one small thing to stop buying for 30 days. Just one. Then save that money." Jayden thought. Then he said, "I buy soda almost every day." Mrs. Rivera nodded. "Then stop the soda," she said. "Not forever, just for 30 days." Jayden agreed. He did not feel excited. He felt challenged. The first days were hard. At lunch, he wanted that soda. He saw other students drink it, and his brain said, "Buy it." But Jayden looked at his notebook, and he said no. After 2 weeks, something changed. Jayden had a little money left. Not a lot, but more than before. For the first time, Jayden felt control. Then life tested him. One evening, Jayden's mother looked worried. She said the electric bill was higher this month. She tried to sound calm, but her voice shook. Jayden went to his room. He opened his notebook. He counted what he saved. It was not enough to solve everything, but it was enough to help. Jayden walked to his mom, and he placed the money in her hand. His mom stared at him. "Where did this come from?" she asked. Jayden answered quietly, "I stopped wasting small dollars." His mother's eyes got wet. She hugged him tight, and for a moment, Jayden felt proud. A few days later, Jayden went back to Mrs. Rivera. He told her what happened. He told her he helped with the bill. Mrs. Rivera listened. Then she said, "Now you understand. Saving is not about being rich. Saving is about being awake." Then she asked him, "What skill do you have?" Jayden hesitated. Then he said, "I can fix bikes. I learned from videos, and I helped neighbors sometimes." Mrs. Rivera nodded. "Good," she said. "Use your savings. Buy one small tool you need. Start small. Earn slowly. Repeat." Jayden started offering bike fixes after school. A loose chain, a flat tire, a brake adjustment. Small jobs. He charged small money. He wrote every dollar in his notebook. He saved some, he used some for home, and he reinvested some. Weeks passed, then months. Jayden stopped borrowing money. He stopped feeling ashamed at lunch. He started packing simple food from home. Not fancy, but steady. One day, a classmate asked him, "How did you change?" Jayden answered, "It wasn't fast, it was daily." Then he smiled. It started with $1. Near the end of the school year, Jayden returned to Mrs. Rivera's store. This time, he did not come to borrow. He came to thank her. Mrs. Rivera looked at him and said, "Big success is built from small respect. People dream about thousands, but they waste ones." She pointed to the notebook and she said, "Dreams don't grow from wishes, they grow from habits." Dear friend, remember this lesson. Track your money. Respect small amounts. Stop the leaks. Build a system. Because wealth doesn't start with a big job. Wealth starts with control. If this story helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, your future can change, one small decision at a time.